Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the StuG III Ausf. This is the Tier 4 German tank destroyer, and it's located on the north spawn of mines under the command of the Raging Tanker. Now, not many of you will know this, but the StuG was actually commanded and operated by the German artillery branch. They offered it to the German tank corps, but they didn't have enough resources, so they then considered the infantry. But they couldn't handle it either, so it was actually handed over to artillerymen, and only the best artillerymen got to use it. It was the most produced tracked vehicle of the German armed forces, and they produced over 10,600 StuG III or StuG III. And this one has got the 10.5 centimeter gun as its main armament, and he's hiding in the bushes there. And let's have a look what he can see. Well, he's waiting for some of the enemy to turn up, but that T-34S does not realise that it's very rude to push somebody when they're sitting in a bush, especially when you're trying to aim at the enemy tanks. So I'm sure that upset the Raging Tanker. And now he's gone and sat directly in front of us. Well, that's one good way to get one-shotted out the game. And remember, this is a 10.5 centimeter gun, basically a howitzer gun mounted in a tank. Now, one of the reasons why the StuG III was so heavily built was due to the fact that it was incredibly cheap to build. It only cost 80,000 Reichsmarks to build one StuG III, whereas it actually cost over 10,000 Reichsmarks to build a Panzer III, which is basically the same chassis. And the reason for that is there's no turret. The casement is much easier to build. It's only about the height of a German soldier, and it's much more low profile. And in actual fact, more enemy tanks were killed by StuG III than any other vehicle in the German Wehrmacht. And that's saying something. It says that tank destroyers with a low profile can actually do more damage than ordinary tanks. Okay, he's lining up a shot on that StuG M42, StuG 42, who's over and hiding behind that rock. The moment he pokes his head out, we'll put a round into it. Now, a P2640's turned up. There's the StuG. And, oh, just missed it. The HE shell is rather slow, and he's actually firing heat now. Fires around in, and one-shots the Panzer P2640, the Italian Tier 4. He's loaded around, and now he's going to go after the StuG 42, or is that StuG 74? He's coming up to take it. Oh, just missed. Well, he didn't miss. No, he got 361 hit points off him. That StuG is now feeling the pressure. Okay. Raging Tanker's having a quick look towards the hill. There is a tank he can hit. Oh, just got hit by an M4 round, and yeah, he's just received another round from the enemy Arty, the AMX 105 AM, and he's having to pull back into cover because his engine's been badly damaged. Now, that round that came from the M4 just before he shot was a 105mm round, and unfortunately it did only 11, well, fortunately it only did 11 hit points of damage when it did come in. But he's pushing over, trying to get a shot on that StuG M42, who's just taken out our Dickermax, and he does so! 201 hit points, but he is using a heat round. And he pulls back. He can't use his repair kit to get the engine fixed because he used it to get his tracks up and running. It was the small repair kit. He had to use his tracks to get back into cover. Now, the scores are 10-all at the moment. They got control of the hill. Most of the enemies in the south. They killed the StuG 74. It was actually our M4 who managed to get him in the end. But now we're in the position where we don't know where the enemy is. The 14TP, I think, is having a quick look on the east side of the hill to see if anybody's coming up round the east side of the map. He should be able to have a quick look. Hopefully he won't get wiped out. Ah, we now know where their Churchill 3 is. He's been spotted in the south. He's coming towards the hill. Oh, and the 14 TP goes down to their SU-76G FT, so he must be right at the back. In which case we know that the Churchill 3 is going to come up that hill very, very shortly. Now, whether or not he actually goes into the hill is another matter. But there's so many wrecks around there, it'll be difficult for us to get a good shot on him. It might be better for the Raging Tanker to drive down there and deal with the matter now his engine's been fixed. But their Dicamax has turned up, and he's actually quite a long way over the hill. He's actually close to us. So Raging Tank has taken up a position behind this rock to protect himself from the Dicamax and also to give him sight of that Churchill. There's the Churchill coming in. Makes it certain. Round out. Ooh, yes! 324. He's taken out immediately afterwards by our StuG G. Now the StuG G had a different casement around the gun. Basically it's the same vehicle though, but just slightly different. They improved it with moving around the parts and enlarging the cockpit without actually increasing the cost too much. Now he's holding onto that rock for the moment to avoid Arty fire. Yep, there's an Arty round just coming in. It's a smart move that he did to get behind that rock as quickly as possible. There's the P-26. Okay, he's been spotted, and now the question is, does he pull out to take a shot at the P-26? He has loaded HE, and the P-26 has been taken out by our StuG G. Now, our StuG G now has 3 kills. We've got 2. The Dicamax on the enemy team, though, he's got 4 kills. So we're pulling back now to the bush. Oh, we just lost the StuG to the Dicamax. Now, he's got 5 kills, so I reckon he'll probably want to get a Top Gun. Here comes the SU-76G. Can we get a shot on him? Remember, using HE this time. Lining him up. Oh, yes! Beautifully timed! Got the high caliber off that one. Now, he's hugging the rock to avoid Arty fire in return, but it's 2 tanks each now. The enemy's got the StuG and the Arty. StuG, the Dicamax and the Arty. Our team have got the StuG and the M4.
Zug erstellt.
And the M4 has asked the platoon. And that would probably be a wise choice, because if the M4 gets the kill, that will be a brothers in arms. And they have platooned. Okay, so it's just a question of hiding from the Dicamax until he reveals himself, and then we can go for it. The M4 is actually down by the rock, so he's covering from that side. If the Dicamax comes out from around the corner, then we can quickly drive into a position where we can take out the Dicamax, and if he aims at us, the M4 will get him. If he aims at the M4, we get him. That's the story. The AMX is probably back at the enemy cap. I doubt he's come up this end. He would be vulnerable if he was in sight of us. So I think he's still back at the enemy cap area. Now we're looking to see where the Dicamax may have gone, but I suspect he's still there. I don't think he would have pulled back, because he did risk getting shot in the back as he was pulling back. There's the Dicamax. Yes, he managed to sneak down, and he's going for the M4, but the M4's driven around the rock, trying to go around the other side. Oh, and the Dicamax has got around the other side as well. M4's coming up this side. Or is he? No, he's the other side. Oh, the M4 took a big hit. We're rushing down there as quickly as we can to get to the Dicamax. Dicamax takes another hit. Oh, he's taken out the M4. Oh, dear. So now the Dicamax will have fired, but he's also got a 10.5 centimeter gun, and so he's equally dangerous. But we're going to go round after him directly. There he is. We've got his rear. Oh, we went up against the rock. Not the time we want to have that happen. And yep, derp him. Now we need to keep moving because the AMX 105 will be aiming at this spot. There's the fire from the AMX. We are now free and clear to go and find the Arty and kill him. Now we've got 5 kills. It would have been nice if we could have platooned and the M4 could have picked up the brothers in arms, but we've got 5 kills. If we can kill the AMX, that will be a Top Gun. Now I think the most direct route is probably the way to go, even if the AMX has vacated the cap area, and he may very well have done that. It's very likely that he will try to fire back on the cap, and if he does, we'll be able to locate where he is and go after him. The trouble with the AMX 105 though is it is relatively quick. Well, Raging Tank has found him. There he is. And oh yes! And that's a winning shot. Managed to locate him and took him out. He must have gone over to the west side to shoot from, and unfortunately he was taken out the game with just 1 shot. So let's have a look at the end of battle stats. It's an ace tanker for the Raging Tanker in the StuG III Ausf. He also managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 8. He got a demolition expert because he absolutely nuked that P2640 when he fired a heat round into him. A duelist medal for taking down 2 tanks that did damage to him during the battle. A fire for effect for dealing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. The high caliber for dealing the most damage overall in the battle. And a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. And he did get 6 exactly. So let's have a look at the team scores. Highest damage, 2,019 hit points overall. The next highest scorer was the Dickomax. He managed 1,657, and I don't know why that Dickomax didn't turn around the moment he spotted the StuG coming around the side of the hill. He would have been able to take out the StuG immediately, unless the Dickomax was badly damaged and he was ammo-racked. If he had been ammo-racked by the M4, then it would have been more difficult for the Dickomax to reload his shot, and that might have been the reason why he didn't want to take on the StuG face to face and shoot him. When it came to kills, the StuG managed to get 6 kills, and so did the Dickomax. They both had the same number. They both picked up Top Guns, but only the Raging Tanker managed to pick up the high caliber as well. And when it came to base XP, it was the Raging Tanker who managed to get the highest amount, 1,269. Then came the heavy tank number 6, managed to get 647. And then the StuG III Ausf G managed to get 521. So StuGs together in the top 3. So let's have a look at detail report. Well, he fired 9 rounds during that battle. He got 8 direct hits, 8 penetrations, and 2,119 hit points of damage, of which 88 were at more than 300 meters. That was the shot on the M4, I believe. He received 1 hit. It was a penetration, and he also received 1 hit as a result of splash damage. He spotted 3 enemy vehicles, he damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 6 of them, and he did 135 hit points of damage assistance during the game. On the credit side, on standard account, he earned 21,880 credits, and after repair, ammunition resupply, he actually had a deficit, a loss of 3,439 credits. And the reason for that was he was firing an awful lot of heat rounds, and those heat rounds are very expensive. If he'd actually fired HE, he probably would have got the same effect, although he might have had to have fired more rounds to actually kill off as many enemy. But as you saw right towards the end, an HE round on a soft skin vehicle can actually be quite devastating, and I'm pretty sure that if you fired an HE round at that P2640, it probably would have blown up just as easily as the heat round would, but the heat round would make certain of it, whereas the other rounds, well, the HE rounds, it's debatable whether or not it would actually do it. I think most of the time it would. but you don't want to take the chance, I think. So he actually made a loss in credits, and when it came to base XP, he managed to pick up 1,269 times 2 for the first victory of the day, so he actually took away 2,538 experience points altogether. But a very good game, and he said it was the best game out of 20 that he played on that particular occasion. And it just shows you that the StuG III Ausf B is as good as its older brother, the StuG III Ausf G, because they both have derp capability. It's just that the G version looks nicer and just is better vehicle all round. This is the junior StuG and the other one's the senior StuG. At least that's the way I look at it anyway. So if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.